Hey DIYers, I'm George from Alarm Grid. Today I'm going to be showing you guys how to set your communication path or change it in your Resideo Lyric controller. Now the Lyric controller has two paths that you can use. It comes out of the box already with the Wi-Fi already enabled. So if you guys have Wi-Fi at the house and you plan on using Wi-Fi only, you can always set your Lyric alarm system up for monitoring using the Wi-Fi path as your only communication. Or if you guys want, you can also add a cellular communicator to it. We actually have the AT&T LTE and Verizon LTE, and there's also a Rogers communicator that you can also purchase as well if you're in Canada. Now, you can choose between doing Wi-Fi, you can choose between doing cellular only, or doing dual path, which is Wi-Fi and cellular. I'm going to show you guys in a second here how we can go ahead and change that communication path. One important thing before you guys change anything is that you make sure that whatever monitoring company you're with, whether it's us, anyone else, that you actually have signed up for the correct service. All right? With us, every single one of our plans includes the Wi-Fi monitoring, but if you guys decide to add cellular to it, you need to sign up for one of the cellular plans, which usually starts at a gold level plan. So you're going to see most of the other plans, they'll say internet monitoring or internet communication. You want to look for the ones that include the cellular monitoring or cellular communication when you're looking for plans, if you're planning on adding a cellular backup communicator. Now, just so you guys have an understanding of how the communication paths work. When you're actually changing the communication path in the system, you're not changing the primary or secondary paths. All you're doing is enabling the paths that the system is using. So for instance, if I have Wi-Fi enabled, my system is only going to use Wi-Fi. If I have cellular only enabled, my system's only going to use cellular. Wi-Fi would be disabled. If I have dual path, which is Wi-Fi and cellular, it's going to primarily use Wi-Fi since Wi-Fi is typically faster and it's the one that's always constantly staying into contact with the AlarmNet servers. It actually pings in every 25 seconds, and if it doesn't receive a response, that's when it knows that the Wi-Fi is down and it switches to using the cellular as a backup. And then it uses cellular as a secondary as a backup in case the Wi-Fi ever fails. Now, if you are thinking of doing Wi-Fi only or doing cellular only, it's very important that you understand the redundancy in cellular monitoring. If you guys are worried about your internet issues, we're not strangers to internet issues. How many of you guys have had to go to your router, turn it off for 30 seconds, wait 30 seconds, turn it back on, and then make sure that your devices reconnect to the internet? So sometimes things like that do happen, and if you're away, vacation, if you're out of town, if you're at work, you're not really on site and you're not able to do that. So that's why we usually recommend having cellular as a backup. It's more reliable. It's going to give you that redundancy in monitoring, whether you're self-monitoring or even central station monitoring. All right. Now, in order to access this communication path, you do need to have the installer code. So your installer code right out of the box is defaulted at 4112. If you try to use 4112 and it does not work, that means you or your monitoring company has changed it. Alright, so make sure you guys have your installer code if you guys are doing this DIY, so you guys can go in, do your own programming, and if you guys ever need to change anything on your own, you can also do that as well. So first thing we're going to go ahead and do, right now I'm on the arming screen. If you guys are starting from the home screen, you'll have this screen right here. I'm going to go ahead and hit on security. Security. I'm going to go to tools. This is where you're going to enter in your installer code. Mine is 4112. We like to leave ours defaulted. We don't change ours. It's very important that when you enter in the installer code, you get taken to this screen. If you go to a different screen that has users, tests, events, it has users, tests, advanced settings, and stuff like that, you guys are probably using your master code, which is not the same as the installer code. Two different things. All right. So after we enter an installer code, we go to program, and you're going to see on the top right here, communicator. Once we go into communicator, you'll see my communication path. Since this panel is activated on both Wi-Fi and cellular, it actually says Wi-Fi and cellular in communication path. I can change it to none. So if you guys are just having the system not monitored at all, you're just using it as a local sound maker, and you're getting that 905 communication trouble or communication error, you guys can change the communication path to none. If I toggle it again, it'll go to Wi-Fi. This is what I was telling you guys before. Wi-Fi only is enabled. I can change it to cellular. Cellular only is enabled. Wi-Fi is disabled. And then Wi-Fi and cellular is what I had it as before. Now, whatever you guys change it to, make sure you guys hit save on the bottom right. It'll say updating route file, programming done. Okay. And then after you guys are done changing everything, make sure you just back out. Now, it's very important, if you guys get initially set up on Wi-Fi only, you guys cannot simply plug in a cellular communicator, change the cellular path to cellular, and then it'll work like that. You guys have to let your monitoring company know. All right, they have to make sure that the cellular signal is good and that the SIM card is actually registered and activated. If you guys have any questions about the communication path settings, feel free to email us at support@alarmgrid.com. If you found the video helpful, make sure you hit like underneath, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and enable the notifications by hitting the bell icon so whenever we upload new content, you guys get notified. I'm George, and I'll see you guys next time.